In today's selection called Ruthless by William DeMille, you are going to read a story of fiction, which means, answer that question in your head, something not real. So this is literature, it's fiction. If you notice, the skill focus says, in this lesson, you'll practice analyzing how characters' choices and actions affect plot development. What do characters do? What do they choose to do that affects how the story goes, how the story develops? That's what that means. This means paying attention to how characters react to specific dialogue, that's what people say, or events, and how those reactions move the story forward. As you read, take notes on. Now, they're telling you specifically here, this is a character, Judson's dialogue, what Judson says, and actions, what Judson does, and how these lead to the story's conclusion. So obviously, things that he says, things that he does, lead to what happens in the end. That's what conclusion means, okay? So when you're looking at your questions, which event sets the story into motion? In other words, what is the inciting incident? What happens that gets everything moving? Well, clearly you're going to look somewhere near the beginning of the story for that. How does Alex's arrival at the cabin affect the events of the story? So you have to see, what does Alec do when he gets there? What kind of problem does he lead to? Which of the following actions causes Marcia's fear? Well, you'll have to definitely look those up. That should be an easy question. You should be able to find that answer. Number 4, how does the conversation, dialogue, between Judson and his wife develop the plot of the passage? So when Judson and his wife are talking to each other, make sure that you're paying attention to what they're saying and how it moves the story, it moves the plot. Number 5, which statement expresses the main theme of the story? You have to think about what the problem was, what is the conflict, how is the conflict resolved, how does the problem end, and then what is the result of that? How does the story end? So you have to think about that. What is the message, the main lesson we're supposed to learn out of this story? Which detail from the text best reveals Judson's belief about crime and punishment? You're going to have to see what he says here. What does it show about his attitude, his belief about crime and punishment? And then your final question, how does Judson Webb cause his own death? Oh, spoiler alert, in Ruthless. Be sure to identify the most important lines of dialogue or events in the story. So you're going to use textual evidence and explain how they cause an important decision or action to take place. This is very, very, very much like your FSA writing task. You have to use textual evidence and you have to elaborate, and that's exactly what they want you to do. So you're going to answer the question first. How does Judson Webb cause his own death? Then you're going to say what he says or does that led to him causing his own death, and then explain how each one of those, and I want to give me 2 pieces of textual evidence in order to get your full credit for this one. And that should be it. It's a cool story. I hope you enjoy it.